or candidates who are emerging, are you suggesting Atiku should step down for Amechi? Amechi should be the consensus candidate? Or what are you saying?
No, strategically, I'm not even talking about Atiku now. Strategically, you have followed me, you've interviewed me several times. There is no basis for zoning. Anybody who wants to remove Tinubu will have to come from the opposite direction. If all of them are going to split themselves into pieces, and strategically, if ADC is serious now, they had better go and find an Atiku, a Tambua from the northern, because that's the only place now that is free. There is no zoning in the constitution of Nigeria. So let's stop distracting ourselves. Anybody who's talking about zoning right now wants to hand it over to Tinubu on a platter.
So in the ADC, there are about 3 people that I know that have obtained the nomination forms, which is a criteria for you being able to be on the ballot. Ayatoding is one, Atiku is another, Amechi is one. So if you are saying that the people should come from the north, you are invariably saying that Amechi should stand by to be a vice, which he has said he doesn't want to be a vice. He wants to be the candidate of
I have
the
not
ADC.
suggested to him that he should be a vice. The truth of the matter is that he does not have the capacity to defeat Jonathan or to defeat Tinubu. He does not have the capacity. He's my very good friend. And if I can tell Tinubu the truth, then I should be able to tell Amechi the truth. He does not have that capacity. That is the truth. Unless he just wants to play a game, and that game will be very, very unfortunate.
What game are you thinking? Are you thinking that he's likely to play?
No, anybody who is serious about getting power away from Tinubu should know that there is a pattern to elections, and I stand by it. There is nobody today in ADC who has contested not just as many times as Atiku, but in terms of deliverables. In fact, the most unfortunate thing that my friend said was that Atiku is unelectable. How can someone, an Atiku, in the Northwest, in the last election, that recorded 2.3 million votes, while Obi got 350,000, and Tinubu got 2.6 million, and Kwankwaso got 1.26 million. How can an Atiku that got 1.74 million in the Northeast, and Obi that got 315,000, and Tinubu that got 1.185 million, and Kwankwaso 126,343, that is in the Northeast. How can you say that an Atiku in the Southwest that got 941,000, and Obi that got 806,000, Tinubu 2.2 million, and Kwankwaso 16,644, an Atiku that got in the North Central 1,087,893,000, Obi 1,113,790, Tinubu 1.6 million, and Kwankwaso 55,000. Atiku in the Southeast 91,198, Obi 1.9 million in the Southeast. That is where the area he comes from. Tinubu 127,000 and Kwankwaso 8,000. And an Atiku in the South that got 717. That's where everything Amechi comes from. 717,000. Obi 1,210,000. Tinubu 799,000 and Kwankwaso 17,000. How can you say he's not electable? So you are now going to build in the next few weeks and months. You will build a new coalition that will be able to give Rotimi and Amechi all that. I cannot see any path in that direction.
Isn't this sad though? Because there are those who are an average Nigerian who don't like the APC and President Bola Tinubu's handling of the nation, who think that they may likely want to change him, because that is the power and the right of every citizen to either keep or change anybody that is in power. And they're looking towards an opposition, a coalition. Those who have said the only way you can remove Bola Tinubu and the APC out of prominence, they have, had their feet right in the ground since 2015. For you to be able to displace them, you must have a very strong coalition. And there are those who are now disappointed that rather than coming together, things are even getting worse than it looked in 2023, when Tinubu had no strong support from within his own party. All the policy of his government was against him. Tinubu had no as much governors on his side, but now Tinubu has 31 governors, had huge resources, both monetary and other resources available to defeat anyone. And now the opposition is even more divided. Isn't this causing for concern for the opposition forces and those who think that there's a need for a coalition?
They are divided in the South because of big egos. Northerners understand the game. The South have a lot of people with big egos, and this is not a student union election. We're talking about the biggest black nation on earth, and I'm happy that the big juggernauts are finally throwing their hearts in the ring. So we are not going to be joking. Strategically, you can see that the North right now has only projected one solid major candidate who understands what it takes. He knows that it's not a game of emotion, it's a game of mathematics. And that is why the North is not proliferating their potential. They have a lot of people who could have thrown their hearts in the ring. They have the Eru5, they have the Tambuas, they have them. But you can see that strategically, unless you say the northern part of Nigeria is no longer a part of Nigeria, or that the constitution rules them out. And since the constitution does not rule them out, then it means they are smarter than our own guys in the south, who everybody in the south now wants to be the president. But in the north, how many people have you seen?
Maybe the reason for this is because people now think that it's time for the South to have an 8 years after 8 years of Buhari. And don't forget, Mr. Momodu, President Bola Tinubu from Lagos State. There is a Seyi Makinde in Oyo State, right? And that's a very big factor right there. If you underestimate that young man, at your own peril. Yes, you're talking about the Rotimi Amechi of this world. You're talking about Dula Jonathan. Those who say that's going to be another joker in southern Nigeria. But it's going to be an interesting one. Those who say, look, with all of this, it makes the work of Bola Tinubu and the APC easier.
How can it, I know you are a journalist and you are a lawyer. So definitely your mathematics is very wrong. If you have a Seyi Makinde in Oyo State, it then means that it will take away part of Tinubu's votes, not just in Oyo, but in parts of Yoruba land. Some of those attacking Tinubu today, you will not believe it, the majority of them are from the Southwest, because they are very enlightened electorates in the Southwest, and they don't care whether you are our son or not. If you are not performing and you are not satisfying their needs, they will go against you. So when you now walk across to the South, and you now have Goodluck Jonathan, of course, is going to chip away from the votes of Tinubu. When you then finally you reach Obi's territory, then you will realize that it will chip away again from Tinubu. So where will Tinubu now get is, look, elections have ethnic coloration all over the world. That's why Donald Trump was always playing the racial card. He will tell you it's a race between the blacks and the whites. It's the same thing that's going to happen in Nigeria. If the North has only one candidate, eventually, one strong candidate, then all these other candidates are going to divide them. So the permutation is different from the last time. The last time, Buhari was still alive to support his party, APC. Today, the field is very clear.
So, Mr. Momodu, you are saying invariably that in today's Nigeria, for the 2027 election, the only person that is formidable enough to defeat Bola Tinubu and the APC is Atiku Abubakar. Is that right?
Oh, if the North feels him, oh yes, certainly. If the North feels one candidate, nobody can defeat them. Nobody. I'm sure about that. Yeah, I haven't seen that proliferation in the North. I haven't seen it. Everybody that is shouting today that they want to be president, they are from the South. I don't understand why.
You bet your Lagos loft house on that.
I mean, I would expect that the Southern candidates should meet urgently if possible. And then maybe they will withdraw for Jonathan or for Peter Obi. But if Peter Obi and Jonathan and Seyi Makinde decide to continue in the race, trust me, it's going to backfire for the South.
Interesting perspective.
Like this wonder shall never end. This Mr. Dele Momodu, this man not the tire. This man not the tire. You understand? I know he like to defend the article. You understand me? So it is unfortunate that article don't fear to run primary. You understand? So now this one, the one use Peter Obi they do before. They want to be a smart Peter Obi. They don't say Peter Obi smart pardon. You understand? We all see the interview with Amishi Grant now. When we call the true ban to article. You understand? He say he cannot be a vice president. That means ADC never sisters to. You understand? They see they fight for one be president for the ticket. They see they fight for the ticket. Thank God say Peter B. We observe with the apple here.